Good evening. Welcome to another night, whatever, in Amsterdam. Nightfall. Is it Nightfall? I suddenly forgot. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God. Such a retard. Nightfall in Amsterdam. The scene, werewolves doing werewolfy things on a werewolfy sept. Um, and I don't even know how loud Abby's playing her music. So we are going to be at random fire pit 7.
Lucky number 7.
Gotta love that fire pit.
Abby's sitting there playing on her phone.
Rat's gonna be playing her bongos.
Lucas is in the Umbra with his electricity spirit buddies, rocking out and probably on the verge of a frenzy.
Oh my.
Just from all the hate-filled rage music he's doing over there.
Veronica would
Air
probably
kind of
go
walks up to.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I'm stuffing my face. Go ahead.
Veronica would probably be in the Umbra, seeing if she could spot any spirits or something. Looks like she has a lot on her mind.
Well, then why don't we all go to the Umbra since everyone's hanging out there?
And voila, it's magically tree stump in the Umbra with fire pit number 5. 7, whatever.
Yeah.
The number changing fire pit. That's why it's special.
It's in the Umbra. It's hard to tell which number's which.
So, well, hey.
So if you guys want him, you're going to need to, mind speak him.
Pack link, Lucas.
Kind of like a angry, what? And then really, oh, hi. What's going on?
We're all discussing things. You're not the only one that seems to be annoyed, it looks like.
Well, Veronica, what's annoying you?
Hearing all this damn nonsense with this other sept.
Oh, that.
I had a thought about that. I'd just like to bounce it off everyone and see what they think. Because it sounds like they're blaming us for the same thing that we're blaming them for. Is there any possible chance that someone else, some other group is doing this and pitting us against each other?
It could be possible, and the problem is I feel everyone's just scratching the surface.
Right.
Not to mention...
kind of, she does approach you guys in the Umbra, being as that's one of her usual hangouts if she's on the sept. But she's stuffing her face with what appears to be maybe a burrito.
Out of game. They sell burritos in Amsterdam? Awesome.
I'm just pretending.
When I was in Russia, so I think Amsterdam's probably a good bet.
Out of character, I was going to say they saw
She waves with her free hand.
Yeah.
So what do you guys know of the other sept and what the things they're accusing us of?
Sounds like they're accusing us of kidnapping one of their kinfolk. Specifically, one of the Magnuson kinfolk. At least that's what it sounded like.
I doubt people here would be kidnapping too much, or there's not many that would.
Right.
There is one person I have considered kidnapping. He is not from the other sect directly, but
Oh.
oui, and that is how you get the information about the fellow on the how you say the kinfolk that he has sold and purchased.
Well, if you want to know what I think, and this is maybe a little odd, but what if the fact they're trying to use this feud between the two different clans, families here, to really distract us from other things going on in Amsterdam? What if this is just a ruse for something else?
I don't think that they would claim one of their kinfolk being stolen or kidnapped just to play a game, but
No, not them.
I guess we never know.
I'm saying a third party. I'm going with Anthony. I'm Lucas on that. It's a third party. I'm thinking somebody's trying to set this up between the two sets.
Probably those fucking leeches.
Well, there were the people
I
at the
don't think
diner.
so.
We're mentioning some people.
Well, that's true. The diner, there were some. Okay. You know, the other thing I have a question is, when are we going to go and get some guns and ammunition like we were planning to?
I am still looking for the person who I will need a biometric scan of to be able to access the place without any hindrance.
Hmm.
And it's that we're also supposed to be. How are the details with the spirits coming along? Looking at Rat.
Yeah, that's it's interesting. I've been trying to gain the trust, and people down at the docks aren't so trusting. How's that sound?
Makes sense. I mean, if they're down at the docks, they're either just coming in from elsewhere or doing some shady business. They aren't just going to tell you things.
No worries. I'm going to get my hands dirty, and I'll get you some info. Just bear with me. I gotta show them I'm not just some mangy mud, and that I'm to be trusted.
Well, there is a possibility that a third party could be involved, as Lucas suggested, but I'm not quite so sure.
Go ahead.
I've recently come across some information that I didn't even know until recently about the Sept and the history of it. It turns out the Guru were only supposed to be there long enough to, in the past, to drive out the worm from the area. The Sept was actually, Frozen Forest had actually belonged to the Fae.
Perhaps it is the fair then that they are doing the troublemaking to try and drive the one group out, or have us drive them out for them.
Well, herein which lies the problem. It was apparently my great, and she says a few more greats, grandfather who kind of broke his word there. So it doesn't make any sense for them to try to kidnap the Magnusons. But they are the ones there presently. And they are Get, who broke the deal.
But the Magnusons are the ones currently in control of the sept, more or less, oui?
More or less, yep. So they could go for that, being as it is also, yeah, they're presently there and they are of my tribe, so.
How do we know if all the Magnussons get along, actually?
We know many of their ancestors are dead.
Not to mention, it's like he's inviting his clan. So there's more than one Magnuson there. What if one of them wants to... What if some are trying to get rid of one another in the long run?
I mean, it could happen. It's not unheard of for there to be arguing in family.
So what started the feud between the two of you? What is this feud about? Why are you guys fighting with each other?
I'm not entirely sure of the whole beginning of that shebang. I'm sure it has something to do with my great, you get the picture, grandfather.
So essentially you're telling me it's more of a Hatfield and McCoy where you guys don't even know why you're fighting anymore, you're just fighting.
I've got an idea. I think it has something to do with him refusing to kill his brother.
Are we talking like Cain and Abel type years ago kind of situation, or what's going on?
Long and the short of it is, who all was at the last moot?
Lucas was.
I was.
Out of game, I came in late.
Okay. You remember the individual that brought my great? Again, you get the picture, grandfather's body?
Somewhat, yes.
That was his brother.
And he's a leech, right?
He is.
What? Are you saying we allowed a leech to come into the cairn?
Someone did.
The elders did.
I guess I'm going to ask why.
Ask the Sept Totem why it allowed it.
Yep.
So Veronica, I guess I'm going to ask you, since you're the pack leader, what direction you want us to go in, because I'm honestly, there's so many things pulling us so many directions.
Which that's the problem. And what we need is unity. And there's another pack that's around also. I believe we need to coordinate with them so they could do one half of work and we could do the other.
What's the name of this pack?
Talons of Judgment.
Pardon, it's not our pack name?
Yeah.
I think he meant the name of the other pack. Or she meant the name of the other pack.
Okay.
Yeah, the name of the other pack, yes.
My cousin is the alpha.
Yeah, I believe it's the Huntsman's Fury.
Huntsman Spirit. And your cousin's the Alpha Heir?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they from this sept or different, or from the other sept?
You've met Eric.
Yes. Yes, I believe I have. I have, you know. I didn't know he was the Alpha, though.
You didn't hear him
Make that howl.
howl? Are
No,
you
I
deaf?
guess
we.
I'm not. I'm not.
Sorry, Abby.
Yeah, how rude.
How long
Maybe
have
I
you
was.
been at the dock?
I've been at the dock for a while. I don't sleep too much, so I get to play with the fish. I gotta gain their trust somehow.
So, what are we going to do as far as a plan goes? You know, we've got a lot of questions and not a ton of answers.
And that's the thing. We need a lot more answers. And
I don't think it's a good idea to just go charge off
absolutely not.
half cocked just because we've got two seps that are angry at each other. I mean, I don't know for
No.
sure. I mean, I think this Faye idea is, given this new information, could be legit, you know, but we have to vet it.
Who here knows about the Fae? Does anyone have knowledge about the Fae?
I only have the pictures of them on the castle.
I've never met him.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, we went to that strange castle in the sky with the stairs. What's that all about?
I wasn't there
It
for
came
that.
into Fairyland. Process of elimination says it has something to do with the Fae.
I would assume so. And what about this Valkyrie person? You know, how is she all mixed up in this?
Hmm.
Abby looks visibly uncomfortable at the mention of her.
I'm not entirely sure what she has to do with this. You alright, Abby?
Yeah, Abby.
Oui? Non? What?
Do you know this person we're talking about?
You were there when she said that. Oh, my goodness. You act like you did not hear what she
Oh.
said. Oh,
No,
Oh.
no, I didn't.
Dad.
Eric kind of gives a quiet chuckle. I see what's going on here.
I'm gonna play stupid. Go ahead, Eric. Tell me what's happening.
You know, Luke's not playing. Lucas isn't playing stupid. He's visibly confused. He has no idea what's going on.
I believe she asked Abby out on a date.
Oh, that makes sense now. Especially when she had eyes for you, makes complete sense now. Oh wow. Oh,
And Abby's just glaring at her phone.
Sorry.
Abby, do you want to talk about this at all?
What is
No.
that to talk about?
You know, ways to help you feel better so that we can move forward with your life.
Feel better. In what way?
the way where you don't have to be so intensely focused on your phone and not to have reactions when you hear the name Valkyrie.
Abby shudders again.
Well, Abby, if it makes you feel better, we have her phone number. Do you want her phone number? We can give it to you.
None. You already gave it to me, so that I could look up the people.
Veronica, what about that strange creation, quote unquote?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
didn't understand him too much either. And it's like, I don't think he know. And with him, it's like he looked like a person, but didn't act like one. He had like, he was very direct, no empathy.
he definitely was different.
He openly talked about explosions, killing people. He could take people out if they got in the way. Like he talked about all these things in the
Oh, that
open.
murder guy?
Not only that, he said he took pleasure in doing it. That he enjoys harming people.
That can be said of most of the Get clan tribe, but you know how it is.
Well, you know, Abby, that you know, I'm not denying your thoughts. We do have a get in our presence. You know,
Oui,
it could
and she
be.
likes to hurt people too.
I like
Have you
hurting
seen?
people.
Have you
I
seen that
also
fight?
have you seen that
I only hurt people
Silverfang?
who deserve it.
Have you seen that Silverfang's face?
I save those judgments for the Philodoxes.
Oh, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I thought the comment. I guess it could have been a bit of a double entendre there.
No, I was commenting on Air's comment about who deserves it and who doesn't.
Oh. Well,
Well, when you are in the middle of a brothel and witness the things that Colin, Abby, and I did while there, you would definitely not be waiting for a Philodox's judgment when there's a giant Fomori hanging out in the basement with these kinfolk.
I think you misunderstand. It was more of a punch now, ask questions later comment.
I must have.
Tell me more about this thing that happened with the kinfolk and the kidnapping.
We didn't. The kinfolk which Abby has mentioned looking into, or the brothel incident?
Brothel incident.
All right, well, we know it was, I believe, one of your tribe, right, Abby, that was bringing them there?
Abby nods as she gets closer to Ire.
And, they were definitely, being sold and used. And, I don't, the kinfolk didn't really talk much about it afterwards. Understandably so, all things considered.
It is a tough
But
thing to be a slave, not having control of your own body or life.
yes, I would imagine so. And it does indeed deeply concern me that there was the presence of a Fomori there with these kinfolk. The things that it implies is disturbing on its own. considering the state of the kinfolk. We didn't really ask too many questions. We wanted to get them out of there and
How did you guys find
with a
out?
swiftness. I was talking to one of the spirits trying to get information on where my parents were taken, and this brothel was the last place that the spirit had seen them. But they were not there when we got there.
When you got there, did you guys go into the Umbra at all and look to see if there were like a ton of Banes waiting around?
There were Banes all around that building when we investigated before going in.
Is it possible they were trying to break these kinfolk and get the Banes into them?
It is possible, but I mean that the people from the other sept who are involved have fallen to their worm if they're trying to draw the bands into the kinfolk. Kinfolk are a rare commodity that have any good sort of... one thing to remember, they all had some sort of good breeding stock in them. So the likelihood of them having girl children is much higher.
Do have to wonder if they knew about that Fomori.
How could you have a place like that and not know about the Fomori?
Oh, I know. Considering with what we saw, they had to know as well as we did.
Does the other... So that's important details, at least. So they're putting kinfolk in dangerous situations and breeding them. And those they can't breed, it looks like they're just bringing them somewhere else to find other ways to serve them. Is that the gist I'm getting?
Oui.
Mm-hmm.
And you said this Kara they're at, they're supposed to fight minions of the worm and stay there to get rid of it. And they knew a Fomori was there?
I would have to imagine that they knew. I mean, granted, we didn't know that the Fomori itself was there until we got into the basement itself, but with the Bane corruption around and in that building in the Umbra, they had to know that something they had to know something. I mean, like I said, based on just the initial look alone that we got, we knew something nasty was going down.
Have there been any recent kidnappings other than, I think there was just the one from the other sept that they're claiming, but other than that, have there been any other recent kidnappings that we're aware of?
Not that we're aware of as far as the kidnappings go, but the Magnuson that was at the bar when they attacked us.
Yeah.
He mentioned something about the kinfolk being able to live. The guru there were going to die. Or so they thought.
Which Magasin you said was at a bar? Was it kinfolk or Garu?
He was a Garu. He died.
See, what I don't like is they happen to be a step ahead of us, knowing where some of us are and where our kinfolk are. I want to know how they're finding this out.
Well, I'm sure they are just as adept at smelling out a kinfolk as we would be.
I say there's a leak.
That's what I'm thinking.
I
What if we had bait
I don't
and
think that
kidnapped
I don't
somebody?
think the leeches are involved.
What if we had bait and made somebody come out believing there's a kinfolk by themselves?
Well, it might work.
I guess before I can go there, I think what I'm bothered by is they already know about us and apparently what we're planning to do. So we got targets on our back even though we haven't done anything yet.
Abby leans
Isolate
over and takes a bite of Ira's burrito.
and Isolate mentioned something about Weaver taint by that area.
Right, that was mentioned.
I'm wondering what kind of allies they have.
Yeah, didn't I forget who out of character? I forget who said it, but didn't someone have an encounter with drones?
Abby,
I'm sorry, I did not catch what you said.
It was out of character. I was just one. I vaguely remember someone having had interacted or encountered some drones somewhere along the way.
Not Abby.
All right.
Abby, do you have drones?
I do not have the fiscal backing to create drones to use about the cities, so simply use the city's own control system to
Well, we have the financial backing. It just depends how much is on the card. Has anyone been able to trace that card?
Nobody has tried to that I am aware of.
Why don't we try to trace the card?
The owner of the card is, how you say, dead?
What if the card owner has family?
Mm-hmm. Or that the dead person's just a cover. You know, maybe we have to dig deeper. You know, go into wherever you go on the internet.
The only person using the card that I know of right now is our Alpha.
My card hasn't been deactivated or anything like that, right?
No?
I mean, the card's gonna have to have an address.
Ugh.
And if we can find the address, then maybe we can find clues.
I can look up the address and find out what I can about it. Likely it is a false address since it was a It was a Garu's card, right? Wait.
That card belonged to a Silverfang.
He was Garu, not kinfolk?
Correct.
Then the information it is connected to will likely be false.
To protect the veil.
Oui. If it is not false, then they did a very poor job of controlling their risk assessment.
And even if it's false, still, the bills are going to go somewhere. There's still going to be a connection to this card.
The bills are going nowhere right now. They don't know that it is even being used. As soon as money says it is charged to the account, a penny from all of the accounts within the system is taken to cover the charges. So unless you spend somewhere in the range of a few $1,000,000 at once, nobody will ever know.
I still say it's possible the bills could go to a physical address. But what do I know? I'm not.
I can
Computer
look. If there is a physical address, it will probably be to the kinfolk homes that are on the sept of the frozen forest.
That's still good information for us. After all, didn't you say we needed bait?
We do need bait.
If they had kinfolk, that kinfolk is likely already taken or moved with the way they are treating kinfolk. I would be
We get-
surprised if they had any kinfolk, especially as silver fangs, where others can reach them easily. Well, that would be my first plan, especially if Zigaru was killed. You do not want the kinfolk being targeted for additional information on the Sept or Zigaru, especially if it is an outside source that is causing the problem.
Well, I say, we're not going to know until we investigate.
I will look into the information regarding what the billing address is for the card.
Wasn't there someone that we were going to go spy on?
Yeah, I'm still working on that.
Okay.
So this is what my thing is. If they're keep making a hit or make a move before everybody does, it's gonna be we're just getting information and we're not doing anything. However, if we make a move, if we're not careful with how we do our move, they could use that against us. Knowing, like, example, we're gonna rescue kid folk that they have no desire for and pick off members.
I have the name, address, and travel habits of one of the people who was one of the purchasers and sellers of kinfolk. I know where he goes, when he goes.
With all of these guru from the other set that we've encountered, there hasn't been any worm taint in any of them, right?
Correct.
So how does a whole sept full, or even some of the sept, come to a place where they're willing to sell off any kinfolk, much less the good stock. You know, even from an old traditional type tribe like the Get and all the rest of them, that you think that there might be some good old breeding for Gaia going on, that they would want to keep as many of the kin around as possible. So I still think there's a third party involved.
Sure, they have people elsewhere to help them.
And do keep in mind, if they're duping the Silverfangs and Shadow Lords, it means that the person orchestrating all this is not going to keep everyone informed. Some are going to be left in the dark.
Right.
Right now, I'm trying to. I'm out of game. I'm talking to the Korax. I just started that, so I'm just gonna go back in the character. It's like I'm considering talking to one of the Koraxes at the Sept. Just because we do need more unity. And I don't think they have much other shape changers than the other Karen, so there are different advantages we have.
No, they don't.
Well, I've been trying to talk to the rat kid. That's why it's taking me so long.
Out of any tribe, yours would probably have the easiest to get along with Ratkin.
Oh, I understand, but even my tribe, being what we are, still makes it difficult for them to want to talk.
Have we tried sending spirit spies over to the other Sept?
Well, that sounds more like something a third would do.
We could try that, but I know that they aren't afraid to kill spirits.
Well, I mean, that presumes that they know why that spirit is there.
They're going to know what spirits are part of the Sept and what's not.
Yeah, I know there's tons of storm crows over at the Sept. Frozen Forest.
Air, did you make connection with any of the spirits there before you left?
I have connection with one because I saved him.
So then it's quite possible he could be the one, since he's already from there, he would be less suspicious, correct?
Well, he's sort of from there. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain his job here. He keeps track of Guru and Kin. He was the one that led me to that brothel in the first place.
Do you know where he is right now?
No, but I could summon him at some point.
That sounds like a possibility.
Most definitely.
Oh, and Lucas, what about you? You said, didn't you say something about your connection to spirits?
So I can speak with them. I've got, an affinity to the electrical ones. You probably see them hanging around when I'm going bonkers sometimes, but I can't really force them to do anything. I can ask them nicely. I can.
Wow, I say go for it. Ask them.
Yeah, and I think that that's probably something to do. I think that maybe sending one of these electricity spirits through the wire and having them do some reconnaissance would be worthwhile. But I need a solid target, someone that we want to try and do that with. And I don't even know if we'll get anything, but it's worth a shot, I guess.
I would assume one of the Magnuson clan is the one that you might want to target.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is they're the one being the most vocal.
That's because they're trying to assert dominance over the Sept and everyone else in the city.
Okay.
I think maybe we could do like a dual-pronged approach to that. Like maybe if Abby could hack the person's phone or computer or whatever, then I can ask one of these spirits to go into it and see if we can't pull from both aspects that way.
Tell me whose phone, and I will do what I can to get close enough to hacking to that phone.
So didn't I thought we had someone specific that we were looking at for that approach. I forget the name.
Eric, can I ask something personal? Eric? Okay then.
The Weaver invaded her server and we can't hear her.
What? You talking to me or Natalie? Because Natalie's MIA for a minute.
I was talking to Eric.
I couldn't hear you then.
That's fine. So, Eric, I got a personal question. I want to ask. Obviously, I don't want to take it the wrong way, but why did you leave their sept?
Why did I leave their Sept? Are you kidding me? I took those.
I don't know anything about
With
their
me,
sept.
who-
That's why I'm asking you. So, no, I'm not kidding you.
We were treating everybody like shit. And those of us who didn't agree with the things that they were doing, we left. They lost a lot of their. They lost some people that held set positions.
I wasn't accusing you of doing anything wrong. I was just wondering what sort of was the reason behind you leaving. That's all. Honestly, if I
I knew
didn't
it was
trust
only
you
a
with
matter
one
of time
thing,
before
I'd
there was
risk
going to be an uprising against them. We all had an opportunity. We took it. They just sent me
Veronica, I have to
away
agree with you.
after my first
Definitely.
change, so they didn't want me there.
I can say this much, Era. I know all about not wanting to be wanted. I'm quite accustomed to that. And Veronica, I definitely have to agree with you. We have to find some sense of solidarity. If we got any issues amongst the pack, we're gonna have to just drop them now so that we, you know, we can go forward.
I think our issues are within the pack.
No, I don't think there's any, but I just in case there were, it was, you know, drop your stuff at the door and let's move forward. Does anyone else have an opinion here? I notice we're quite quiet right now.
But we do need to do something. Otherwise, if that's why there is a need for unity. And we do need to coordinate with some of the other packs or even the other shape changers. There are advantages that we have. And the problem is we're doing stuff after the other sept makes a move.
I'm doing my best to get hold of Bratkin, get some information.
I have faith in you. I know you're always working hard.
So, same thing for me. Like if you can give me a target, I'll try and send the electrical spirit spies and coordinate with Abby to see if we can't pull down some actionable intel, as the kids say.
I have an idea. Bear with me. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. So, Lucas, what if with Abby hacking this address, what if we could send one of your spirit friends, if they're willing to do it, to this address so that we can get intel if it's a real address or if it's fake? So it would save us some time since they can move quite faster than we can. So we know, is it a dead end?
But yeah, I mean, I suppose I could send or ask one of them to go like across just like an electric wire and into like a light bulb or something and see what they see. I don't know if they'd be able to get that way. I was thinking initially in terms of the spirits being able to interact with the device that they were in. So maybe if there's something plugged in or maybe a computer at that address, maybe that would work. I don't know. This is all new to me. I'm just spitballing.
I mean, everything potentially has a spirit. It's just a matter of whether it's been awakened or not. I don't know what their systems are. I wasn't really privy to that information.
Well, Veronica, I voted for you being our pack alpha. I'm going to do what you requested of us. So you just let me know what you want me to do, and I'll do my best that I can.
That's appreciated. Maybe at the first we should do some simple stuff while we're getting intel. We should still do that weapons raid.
Definitely need to do it. I can safely say that their forces aren't getting any smaller.
Are they bringing in forces from outside Seps? Are they calling in reinforcements? Do we know?
Definitely.
They are.
Are we?
I want to. Though, however, we have to also earn some trust and Wells gets permission from the Sept Alpha. Because so far the Sept is a secret.
Right. And the Sept Alpha gave us this mission about glyph tattoos.
Yeah, that's the thing. No, it wasn't the Sept Alpha, but it was the Truth Catcher. No, we should focus on that first. The weapons one's good, the glyph tattoo's another good one.
Brian, can I say something just in humor? Just
Yes.
if you really want to have fun, you could always send that creation right over to the other set. Have him just walk in. He's gullible enough to crash the party.
True.
I didn't expect we really do it, but I mean, my thought is, it's
The only thing is I don't want to violate the Sept and break the litany. I'd rather do certain things that eventually overthrow them.
no. I didn't say if he goes and kills anyone, that's on his accord. I didn't say for him to kill. Just have him go check it out. Make it like vacation land. He's going to check out the spot. It's just an idea. And probably
We'd have to find a way to present it to him where we're not revealing too much about ourselves.
No, apparently they do well enough for themselves.
What if we got his what if we enticed his intention and meant we saw something? We don't tell him directly what it is, we just mention we saw something.
And what if he does see something? And what if he then does not get stopped there and takes it outside? And you then breached the litany because he then knows and talks to others. From the sound of it, he is not very quiet-lipped.
He's not.
That's true. No. Well, the other thing I thought is, if need be, this of course is going to be a heavy coordination. Lucas has electrical spirits. You know how to hack phones. He carries a phone with him. He's down there. It might be our way in, but that's a long shot.
I mean, it sounds like that's one of our only shots right now. Unless we just want to send someone over and knock on the door. I could put on a suit and pretend I'm Mormon.
I'm not sure that. I don't see that happening. I mean, I guess out of the five of us, I'd be the best to go out there because if something does happen, no big loss. I don't have family to worry about me.
You have a pack.
Pack's your family.
Well, I have you guys. But what I'm saying is,
Yep.
I don't have kinfolk. I'm a traveler. I'm just saying if something were to happen to me, they can't track me to either kinfolk or anything like that. If that's what's necessary.
In that vein, I might actually be the better choice. because if something does happen to me and ends up being public, my death will not break the veil or the litany. But I have nobody but the park.
Well, that makes two of us. The only reason I would say to no to that is you're one of the betas. What I'm saying is my role is not as important. And I'm not saying I'm going over there, but if we have to get to that, I'm willing to ring the doorbell.
I'm also wondering the tattoo thing, like that might be connected to Lucas's point with a third party as well.
Think they're branding?
Could be.
What do we know about the glyphs?
What kind of glyph is it too?
That's a good question.
I think a lot of us made the assumption that they were guru glyphs, but I don't know if that was actually said explicitly.
Well, you know what? And I'm not jumping the gun. I'm going to follow what you guys say, but I can't just keep lying here and twiddling my thumbs.
We have to do something.
So what's the guy's name that we want to try the phone spirit thing?
Oh, we have his information. I'd have to look it up. Or Veronica might have that information.
Out of game, I don't remember his name. It's Marcus's character.
Yeah.
No. Air doesn't know him, so.
No, but apparently he's good friends with Valkyrie. As Rat turns to look over at Abby.
What do you intend for me to do? I am not dating somebody.
Oh no, you don't have to do anything. I just want to see how you'd react because apparently this guy was supposed to come to Fairyland with us when she tried to contact him. Oh, and don't forget, wait a sec, wasn't there... Who was the woman that was, doesn't have a soul? What was that
Miranda.
paper about?
I believe Valkyrie wrote something to her.
So we have leads, we have people. I'm not saying they're necessarily allies, but I mean, we have charismatic people in this pack.
Out of character. Why? I'm confused now. I must have missed something along the way. Why are we spying on Marcus's character? Have we not met or introduced
The idea that he had is because Marcus has a phone, have him go somewhere nearby and use his phone to spy on them. Spy through his phone.
Oh, okay. So
It was either spy through his phone through Abby or get a spirit to go into his phone and tell us what it saw.
Mm-hmm.
but it's not Marcus's character we're spying on, right? It's
No.
okay. So
No,
who are we actually spying on?
out of character. The idea is because Marcus's character is easily led to different things. If we can get him to get near the other sept, with your help and Abby's help, we can potentially have one of the spirits spy in that area without us actually having to be there.
Okay, so because I don't know that Lucas has interacted with Marcus's character before. Are we good with him? Do we?
He gave me money. He just he just threw money at people. If you need money, he'll just give it to you, apparently. So walking ATM.
Well, if that's the case, wouldn't it make sense to get him, somewhere where we can talk to him and make sure that we get his phone awakened, and then that way we can just talk to the spirit that's already in his phone.
We could always see if he's gone to that new ship right area. Out of game, that new all supernatural hangout.
A character. Where is that again?
Let's see. Out of game, give me a moment. I gotta look up the rumors.
Yeah.
Sunken Norwegian Theater.
That's quite interesting. So Veronica, I have concern I want to bring up to you because I know that we're trying to gather all this intel, but knowing that we have these targets on our back, is it really safe for us to go outside the sept one-on-one?
I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's gonna be the best idea. However, this is the thing. They're not gonna attack us all. It's either they're gonna pick us off, or if they're gonna wait for us to be in a group and take us out. The thing is, the way their sept is, they're building numbers. So there's only so much. Out of game. Oh, good, Tiger's here. So already, no matter where we go, we're going to be in danger. So I say it's a good idea to let your pack members know where you're going.
Sure. And we were able to have that pack speak, correct? So, I mean...
Yep.
We need help.
Right, that's a good way to just say, hey, I'm going to X place.
Does anyone have a map of the city just in case something happens to me? I can sort of direct you guys to where I am if I need your help. Everybody got like a spare map or hold on, can you help me find a map on this phone? Does this phone have Wi-Fi capability at all?
Not in the Umbra.
Well, I meant when we're not here.
Wait, and she'll let you unlock it and then flip to the apps and show you the map button.
Okay. I think if we can keep as we are at locations and we have an idea, but at least we can have someone close to us. If we need alert, we get an extra assistant. Where are they doing these tattoos? Where do we know the location yet? Or are we still looking?
I am still surveying the city, trying to find out where they're being made, where people who are in possession of them are in larger numbers, etc.
Well, everyone, I haven't slept much in the last few nights, so I'm going to leave you here in the Umbra. I'm going to just catch a little sleep over in the Sept. Um, I just need a quick rest, and give me a shout if there's anything you would like or need from me. Let me know.
All right.
Rest well.
Later.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
There will
Au
be
revoir.
a small stepping through the gauntlet as Bosco emerges with a grave expression on his face and a letter in his hand. Good evening, everybody.
Hey, look who it is.
My apologies for being late.
Let's go.
What you got there?
A letter. A very serious one. I received it from a local Shadow Lord, Lucas McGuther.
That something we need to know about?
Perhaps. He'll hand it to Veronica and say, "You should probably read first. You are Alpha after all." And I'm gonna just go ahead and copy and paste it in the side chat for y'all.
All right. Who's the person out of game? What's the Shadow Lord's name?
Lucas McUther. I can put it in our pack chat if you need.
Okay, thank you. Out of game, that explains a lot.
Doesn't it though?
How did you get in contact with the shell, or did he find, or do you know him?
I was wandering, and I heard a song. I followed the song, and I found him. We listened to it for a little bit and discussed a few local matters. He's the same one who told me that the other set was selling off the kinfolk that they couldn't help drop finger quotes use into slavery.
You see Veronica's expression become very serious.
Are you familiar with the name?
No, but I don't like how they treat the kinfolk.
Of course.
So I do want to learn more about this guy. Is he from the other sept? Or you don't know?
Oh,
When was this letter?
is she letting everybody read this?
Okay, out of game, I just realized she hands it to the betas. And then eventually it'll be passed to everyone else. Out of game, sorry. I forgot I was the only one looking at it.
I do not think he has any allegiance to that set. He seemed very unhappy with the actions they've been taking.
I would be too.
As should anyone with any degree of sense.
Air's kind of reading this over. And she almost goes, pale.
Out of character, where is the Sept of Wandering Shades? Is that something that has been interacted with in scenes that I haven't been part of?
I don't know where that is either.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
Out of character, Air is probably the only one that knows.
Okay.
And she's going pale reading this.
Do you recognize anything from the letter?
Well, this is essentially a brief history of why this all is going on. Like I said, the frozen forest did belong to the Fae. I was talking about this earlier.
It's a frozen forest, except near where the Feyland staircase is. Are they in close proximity? Because the queen of the castle there, her name is, they call her Mab as one incarnation, but another is a ice queen.
Yes.
I wonder if
essentially
that is...
it's the same idea. The labyrinthian waters is now the riddling waters.
That means I know who the fifth. That means I've spent a fair amount of time making friends with the faithful there. I'm not even sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing.
None of this sounds good. Even though it brings answers, it just makes this more complicated.
You said a Shadow Lord gave you this letter? She looks at Bosco.
He said he'll be right back.
He'll be right back. I missed that.
I'll be right back as too. I'll be right back.
So when out of character, when the vampire guy showed up at the moot with the inanimate stasis guy, those two were the brothers, right?
Yes, my great, great, great. Again, you get it, grandfather, uncle.
Okay.
She looks slightly frustrated with all the great, great, greats.
So is that the Sigurd that's mentioned in this letter?
Yes, it's a Sigurd that sits at the sept with a dagger in his back.
Is that dagger this essence that's referenced in the letter?
She kind of goes over the letter to get the reference here again.
I'm back. What
Yes,
did I miss?
he.
The Lady of the Fae, yada yada, splinter of her essence, blah blah, bind soul in essence.
Lady of Fae known as the Snow Queen. That's the Snow Queen is the sept totem for the frozen forest. Okay,
So
that makes sense. I would assume that yes, that is what it is.
that's we're assuming that's the dagger, right?
Yes, and the spirit within it doesn't seem to say or know much spoken to it.
Okay,
Perhaps we could ask Snow Queen.
What's that, Bosco?
Perhaps we could ask the Snow Queen.
we'd have to get on the sept to do that, though, wouldn't we?
You can summon a spirit. Well, I know how to do it. I don't think she's going to take all that kindly to me, considering I am a Sigurdsson. And it was my great, great, she rolls her eyes again, grandfather who broke that oath.
So who's this Jean Valois person? Like, it sounds like he was planning on
Silver Fang.
using the stasis knife.
He's a Silver Fang who is also done in a stasis similar, except for he was still alive rather than dead when the deed was done.
So pick him up.
Did I miss anything?
Just
They're
to
just
clarify.
discussing the letter.
And then Lucas just suggested that we go dig up this Jean Valois person.
Said he's not dead. We'll have to find him. And
He's somewhere though, right? Well, presumably.
I mean, I know where Sigurd is. Well, I don't agree with him having broken the oath that was made. Don't really. I don't know.
Hey, Bosco.
No.
Did MacGuther seem to have any idea about the contents of this letter, or did he just give it to you?
He gave it to me. He said it was passed down and rewritten whenever necessary, but he himself had not looked at it.
Yes. Brands the faults.
But do you know him?
I know of him, yes. He's of your tribe and a half moon.
So same as Bosco. What do you believe his motives could be, like based on what you know of him?
I do not think I know him well enough to be an accurate judge of it.
Right. Like I said, I know of him. I don't know him personally. He is the Sep's truth catcher.
MacGuther is Frozen Forest's truth catcher.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is the Frozen Forest truth catcher.
Okay.
Because what I've been learning is some of the Shadow Lords are working with the Margrave and acting as double agents there during this whole thing.
It's possible he may be doing the same thing then.
That's what I'm wondering.
This Jean Valois, who seems to be the one who wrote this letter, like I said, that name is also familiar to me because the spirit that's holding Sigurd told me. Between that spirit and my other contacts, this is the story that I was told, for the most part. I wasn't told that the splinter, the essence of the splinter from the Snow Queen was what it is, but I do know that Valois had intended to return.
It seems like everyone's getting tired at this point.
Yeah, I've been up since around 4-ish this morning. I gotta do
Oof.
that.
So
Do you guys want to keep going, or you want to say this is a good spot to end it?
I'm down either way, honestly.
Okay.
I'll post that letter in the pack chat too, just so anybody who wasn't here gets a chance to read it.
Thanks. Natalie, Holly, what do you guys want to do?
it's fine by me.
Okay.
I'll keep looking for this Valoy fellow, as it was part of something I was planning to do anyway.
Let me know if you wish for assistance in that.
Well,
Very well. Then this is what we will work on for now. Then we are
Night.
Alpha.
I'm sorry, what? Out again?
She said that's so. This is what we're gonna work on for now. Yes, Alpha.
Yes.
Then I guess we have work to do. And if nobody else has anything to add, that is where these wolves will fade off to do their things. Thank you for watching. Thank you for playing. Hasta la vista, baby.